Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Keap node and some basic things that we can do with the Keap connection, not having to interface directly with the API. So a real common thing that we do is receive data from somewhere and then need to update a record in Keap. And so what we do here is we will get a piece of data from a webhook and we will pass that into a Keap node so we can send that over to Keap. In our first shot, what we want to do is set this up to get a webhook, which I'm going to use Postman to send over, and from there we'll pass that data in and we'll take a look at it from Keap. So let's start and create a webhook node, and we will not use any authentication on it for this point. We will make it a post request, and we will make this test 123. I'm going to copy this node, this URL, sorry, and I'm going to connect this to the input of the Keap contact record, which is just using fixed data at this point. So we're going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to come over to my Postman window so I can use this to just send a URL. At this point, we're going to pass in an email, and we are going to just have that for now, and I think that's probably going to be fine. Let's go ahead and hit execute workflow. It's waiting on a webhook call. I'm going to go ahead and hit send. It says workflow got started, and over here it looks like it went ahead and passed it through. On the webhook, you'll see that I got this email in the query parameters. You can also just send it in the body. When I send data from a website or from a third-party platform, most of the time I do go ahead and send that in the body, and so it's in the data rather than the URL string. So we'll go ahead and just go to this next step. In the Keap contact record, in order to update a contact record, you have to have the ID of the contact record. Assuming whatever platform you're in doesn't know the ID of the contact record in Keap, which is not the email address, it's actually a number, you have to retrieve a contact in order to update that contact. The way that we normally do this is we just use the contact resource and then create or update by email. And what this will do is tell it that I want to update a contact record that matches an email that I give it, and if it doesn't exist, I want to go ahead and create it. In this case, instead of the hard-coded email address, we're going to add an expression, and we are going to expand the input data to get the data that was passed into it, which was currently in the query as the email. And now it's still got that same email. You can see here that it's pulling that from that first step instead of a hard-coded value. And when I hit execute, it is going to still retrieve that same data because it matches what was passed in. Now you can see all this data here. Down at the bottom, there is an ID. This ID is the contact record ID in Infusionsoft Keap, sorry. So we will use a second Keap node with the same credentials that we set up before, and now we can contact tag, and we can create a tag or get all of that contact's tags. I will hit get all just to get all of the tags on this contact record, and under contact ID, open this all up to where we see this, and we'll use the ID. When I hit execute, you then see it pulls all of the tags, the IDs, the name, etc., for the tag that you pass the ID in. This setup we use a lot to send data from a website, another marketing platform, a place like Airtable. Zapier can send webhooks if you've already got some Zapier flows set up, automating things. It's a real easy, quick way to pass data into n8n, retrieve a matching contact by the email address, and then update them, whether you're adding a tag, getting a list of their tags to follow up with some conditional checks to see where to send them, or even starting some other campaigns based on it. Really, this is, you can do a lot of that in Keap as far as if somebody's got a certain tag sending a campaign. But if you've got checks to do on multiple platforms, or need to automate this on a recurring schedule to put people into things, or just really want the data to pass in and it automatically be started, just work with the campaigns that you have in Keap and pass the data in, grab the contact, and then update your contact however you'd like to. I think that's really going to be enough for a short overview of the connection. I don't want to spend too terribly much time at this point on working with the modules. So we're going to stop right there, and in the next video we'll take a look at the HTTP requests.